Okay, yeah, I'm gonna call the meeting to order at 6:30. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do I have to vote to reorganize?
So you need a motion.
Okay.
Yep.
At this time, I would entertain a motion to move the item agenda number 6 up to the beginning of the meeting. I'm looking to bring number 6 up to the top. So that
Okay.
everyone's here for the A&R, so
All right,
take care of that first.
I'll second that motion.
Second.
We got it.
Okay, sounds good. All those in favor?
Fine.
Okay, excellent. Sounds good. So do we have a representative for Mass Department of Fish and Game?
Hi, folks. My name is James McCarthy. I'm attending by Zoom. Thank you very much, Lori, and to the members of the planning board for making this opportunity available to me. I apologize that I cannot be there in person. We do have representatives from our project partners group, Todd Olanek, our central district manager, and Julia Fitzpatrick from Mount Grace. And we're all working on this project together with the landowner Buck Shope, which is the owner of Swift River Retrievers license LLP there. We also have on the call Dale and Amber from Northeast Survey Consultants, the engineers who prepared the plan for us here today. And just a quick bit of background. So the Department of Fish and Game, working with Mount Grace, is helping Buck Shope, the landowner, to achieve a permanent level of protection for the entire property. The survey plan being presented tonight is the purpose of it is to divide the property such that Buck is able to enable ownership of the retriever training grounds, including the open fields and the ponds, which will ultimately be conveyed under a permanent conservation restriction to Mount Grace. And the parcel 2 on the plan, which is accessed or benefited by the permanent public access easement, will be sold in fee interest to the Department of Fish and Game, and that will operate as a wildlife management area. So ultimately, the retriever training grounds will be secured in their maintenance and longevity, and will continue into the future. And the rear portion, which is labeled as parcel 2 on the plan, will be sold to Fish and Game, excuse me, and will function the same as any other wildlife management area property that we have.
So I want to take a quick look at the plans. So I guess my one question is, we are creating a lot that has no frontage or no access.
Which one? We don't know.
This here.
Low parcel 2. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
So I understand it's going into conservation, but is that still an issue, creating a lot that has no access?
Yeah, what is the access to this lot?
So there's a 15-foot wide access easement that will carry on the existing gravel road that leads from Pail Factory Road, just to the west of number 205 Pail Factory Road. So there's a gravel drive that comes off of the existing frontage, which it traverses through parcel 1. And as part of this project, the owner will be conveying a permanent easement across that existing gravel drive, which connects to parcel number 2, which ultimately achieves permanent access for folks that want to come down to use the WMA property to hunt, fish, or trap. It will also give the Commonwealth access to go in there and do property maintenance, such as timber cutting and so forth.
I've actually driven that gravel road.
What's that? Yeah.
It was
Recently or in your younger years?
No, recently when there was some cutting going on out there, and everybody minds everybody else's business, so I had to go out and take a peek.
Okay, off of this 15-foot wide easement that he's talking about?
It's beautiful out there.
Is the easement described in the description? Is it in the description?
Good.
Can't answer that because I gave you guys all the packets.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Your name was what? His name?
James.
Yep. James McCarthy. I'm the land agent for the Central District.
Okay. Is that on the description, in the deed description, the right of way, is it listed in there? The easement?
There is nothing currently in the landowner's title which references this easement, but it will be spelled out in full detail as part of our order of taking for the property. So we're still working out how the final documentation will be, the language of the final documentation. So it may be that the easement is conveyed separately in addition to our acquisition through the order of taking, or we may actually work out all the details of the easement and include that within the one acquisition document.
Okay, like Charlie said, we don't make a habit of creating basically landlocked parcels, especially when it's not landlocked now. So at best, I'd like to at least see the easement in the description before we accept the plan as submitted. Because all good intentions, but unless it comes to fruition, we're gonna end up having a parcel, we're creating a landlocked parcel.
So currently there's only what, 196 feet of frontage in total?
Yeah, 196.18. What it's saying. Because currently the parcel's owned by this one here, the Swift River Retrievers,
Yes,
LLP.
yes.
But currently this is the whole parcel. Well, not be showing it.
So something would need to be written in.
This is saying City of Gardner. Where's the line that cuts off the City of Gardner from him? Does he mention?
Yeah, but everything is in- and it's all.
This is in Gardner.
And what is
Is it, where's the property line from,
80 acres.
City of Gardner D 2478-310? To the Swift River Retrievers LLP.
I think this is on.
Is there a property line there?
That looks like it's landlocked also.
But it's
I'm
the city,
assuming that's,
but is this the City of Gardner owned property in Templeton?
Knowledge.
Where is it?
Swift
Anybody,
River
okay, here's, because
in
here's the
Templeton.
Templeton Hubbardston line. I don't see the City of Gardner line. So that's just gonna be land owned by the.
do you have any clarification on what that parcel is, City of Gardner?
Yes, if I may, I'm Dale with Northeast Survey Consultants. That is part of the airport acquisition when the airport got built.
Okay, all right, that's, okay, that's fine. So it was already there, so, okay.
Yeah.
But where is, so is the Swift River Retrievers? Where's the line? Okay, so in other words, you're saying that property's in Templeton, but where's the property line between those two parcels?
Between the city of Gardner and the Swift River
Yeah,
along Pail Factory Road. It's just
No.
to the northwest of the existing
Nope.
drive.
where's the back lot line?
The
Or is
back
this-
lot
This is the-
of the airport property.
Of the
Unless that's
parcel,
it, yeah.
right, so does it follow that?
I mean, spike and tree roots. There, so I don't know if that's the property line now.
I'm assuming it is, it looks like it. But
Must be. Creating, no, it wouldn't be creating a line, because that would already.
Oh, I see. Part of this.
right, right, so we're assuming that is the property line there.
Probably is, and then it's following the wall.
Right,
Yeah.
Okay.
follow the wall and-
Okay, so there is, it is.
This
there
is
is a
Pail
line.
Factory
Okay.
Road. It looks like.
Yeah, I would say that's it,
Hard to say.
because they're identifying the 2 points, and you see there's a line running through the stone wall.
This is Pail Factory
Okay.
Road
Yeah.
going in there.
All right, so I think I answered our questions on that.
Down to the.
It is depicted. as a plan. So this gentleman's gonna maintain
So is this,
this parcel 1, correct?
so par-
Oh, are you with them as well?
Yes.
Oh, okay, sorry. I didn't mean to go, I was just looking at the screen.
I just got here.
I came in late, so pardon my appearance. I lost track of time. Okay, and so you're who now? I'm sorry.
I'm with Mass Wildlife.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you answer the question on the easement then?
Can I?
Yeah, come on up. Yeah.
So the easement is just a way for Mass Wildlife to maintain access to this back parcel. So that's being the easement's part of our purchase of this back part. We're buying this in fee
Mhm.
from the owner, and the CR is gonna be on the dog training part of it. And so this easement is just to enable us to get into this piece here.
So is that gonna be like a public easement for people to
Yep,
go out there
people
for passive
will go in
recreation?
there, they can hunt, fish, bird watch, hike, whatever they want to do.
Okay, so,
Property.
so this parcel here, yeah, this is where it says a Swift with the retriever.
Retriever, yeah.
Okay, so as of right now, he owns all of this, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to be square here.
And this
So-
is where all of his ponds are, where he trains the dogs,
Okay,
up in this section.
okay, so this is going under,
Conservation.
yeah, this is going to CR,
Mhm.
but it's still gonna be part of this parcel. This is all gonna be under CR, correct? This is all one parcel, or is it you drawing this line right here, so he's gonna maintain this small lot here?
Yeah, this lot here, I think, has a house on it. But-
Oh, it says a house trail right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So he owns that, yeah.
is this a separate lot already
I
now?
believe it is a separate.
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
Okay, so that's out of the picture right
Yeah,
now. That's not up for discussion.
Yep.
Okay,
We're not.
all right, I want, because I've seen his name on it, so I want to make sure
Yep,
what we were doing here, so, okay.
Yeah.
So right now, the parcel in question that we're talking about is basically from the frontage here,
Mhm.
and it comes into here,
right,
then follows around like you show on lot 1 and lot 2.
correct.
Okay,
I have a question. Is this gonna be something that's under conservation or preservation?
Yes,
It is. Okay,
it's gonna become a wildlife management area.
okay, that's all right. Good.
so CR on this lot, and this one's gonna be here, this one here is gonna be what?
that's wildlife.
That's why.
Mass Wildlife, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so they are showing enough frontage. But you're still landlocking Mass Wildlife.
I think that with the limit, you're concerned about the limited restriction or as
Just being landlocked.
Huh?
Just being landlocked.
it's landlocked.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that's okay for this type of purpose, I would think.
But it's not landlocked now. I don't want to create a landlocked lot. That's the problem. We don't make a habit of deliberately creating landlocked parcels. We try to avoid them or take them out of landlocked by adding, people.
Right.
Yeah, but it,
Is there any way that can be,
for express purpose, in this case, I would think it would not be an issue.
problem is things change and that's the issue. It's, again, 100 years ago, it was fine when they did it. And then all of a sudden you run into problems. So if we're doing this now, is it something that's creating a
This is
problem?
not- This is land that's not gonna be able to be,
We got in there, harvested all the wood first.
well, but this is land that's not gonna be able to be used for any other purpose other than for preserving it as a wildlife.
Right, it'll be protected under Article 97,
You know,
undevelopable land.
so I don't see that's such a great problem.
And who are you, sir?
I'm sorry, my name is Todd Olanek. I'm with Mass Wildlife. I'm the Central District Supervisor.
Thank you.
And who are you?
I'm Julie Fitzpatrick. I'm from Mount Grace Land Conservation Trust.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Hi, Jessica Case, Templeton Conservation Agent. Who is going to manage the conservation restriction that you're all speaking of?
Mount Grace.
Thank you. Can I get a copy of that eventually? Thanks.
And the language of the conservation restriction will include the permanent public access easement, and we'll make sure that we document, so the CR, obviously conservation restrictions are restricted by nature, but that, the language of the document provide for that permanent public access easement can never be restricted, right? So that what Todd was explaining about, that's how the way the public would always come in, whether it's during shotgun season to go out there and hunt on the parcel 2, or if it's just for us that we want to go into parcel 2 to manage the timber. The language of that easement will provide for all of those uses, and that's been explicitly agreed to by the current owner. I apologize, I don't have the exact language of what that easement would say, but I can certainly supplement tonight's presentation. I can get that from our attorney in short order. And I understand what you're saying, not wanting to create a landlocked parcel, and we certainly don't want to acquire something that couldn't be accessed, but from our perspective,
Yeah, no, I'm fine with what you're trying to do out there, but we just, like Charlie had said, we need to look at
It wouldn't be,
tomorrow, but 100 years from now, we just can't be.
it wouldn't be substantially different than, say, Birch Hill or someplace like that, that would be limited, if any, access to.
Well, I just don't like when they, nothing personal, when they do that, and it's all for conservation, and you go down here, there's a gate there, and no trespassing signs. So. Number one.
One of the things about where the location was chosen for the easement to come out, so the gravel road comes in off of Pail Factory Road, and the current owner has a gate set up so that you can't go too far into where he's got the fields and the ponds. So the permanent public access easement would actually terminate right before the gate. So, we don't anticipate installing any additional gates to prevent any public access there.
What about vehicular traffic, if you're gonna encourage, excuse me. You encourage recreation out there for passive recreation, what have you? Are you gonna put any type of parking area or something like that for hunters or people who just want to go out and play, or I don't want to have an issue on.
Location of
Hill
the
Factory Road. But they say you can't park, so how can you're gonna get there, but you can't stop. So I think maybe that should be looked at.
Yeah, we've talked with the landowner there, and our intention is to put one a gravel space there, probably 3, 4, or 5 cars, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
In order to access what will be our land through there.
So would that be once you get onto this parcel 2, or would it be? It
would be on parcel 2, yeah.
It'll be right here.
Okay, so the general public would be able to drive down the road,
They'll be able to come in this way, park right here.
so you get room for a half dozen cars or
Yeah,
whatever.
on left hand.
It's
There's a little
sorry.
stream that comes down through here,
sorry.
and
Yep.
I would imagine people would hike in following, there's a stone wall here. This is high ground here, so they'll probably hike in through here and follow the train
Okay,
this
I
way.
tell you, just point this out here, this small area.
Yep.
Take it out. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
How much time do you feel it's gonna take you to put this together, or at least show us an actual deeded, but the description of the deed and the easement? How long do you think it would take you?
I think I could probably work pretty quickly with our attorney, because our goal is to get the acquisition of parcel 2 completed by the end of June 30th is the end of our fiscal year. So that's what we're coming up against. But so Christine Smith is our attorney, our assistant general counsel, and she's in the process of drafting. We do an order of taking as opposed to a deed conveyance. And we were just talking earlier this week about, do we include the easement description within the order of taking, or do we do a separate grant of easement to be conveyed from the owner to the Commonwealth? So we're trying to iron out the details of the best way, just logistically. But I think I'm fairly confident I could have something back to the board by the end of this week. By the 14th, I should be able to get something back to you folks, if not sooner.
When do we meet next?
June 25th.
We meet on the 25th? Okay. Is there any other concerns from the board?
No, that's the only thing.
Is all the paperwork in order and whatnot, Laurie?
It is.
So, we have 21 days to render a decision, so why don't we continue it to the
25th.
to the 25th. They can supply the documents by then, and then I think I'd be fine with it then. Right, Dennis?
Just as soon do it tonight, but
Everybody's gonna line up at the door while backlot's created. You can't set a precedence just because it's the Commonwealth. I mean, not that I don't believe what you guys do, but it's my state and my town too, you know?
it's not a typical backlot though.
So, you know, we got
can
it.
Get it done on the 25th. They can walk out with the Mylar and be ready to go to the
Yeah.
registry the next day.
So we just, like, basically, I like to see the description, basically what the townspeople, or not just the townspeople, but I look out for the townspeople. What they have in front of them as far as what they can do or not do, but just capturing more land and no way to get to it, or something happens later, you know. We've already dealt with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts on Vernal School. Thousands of acres that never been on tax roll. They promised the world, and guess what they delivered? Absolutely nothing.
What, can you give me, I don't mean to,
No, that's fine.
what exactly, is happening there that, you're talking about?
The old Fernpool property?
Yeah.
Nothing, it all just turned to the Commonwealth for everything, whether it be DCR or, you name it, every single stage, senior brother just grabbed all the land. There's nothing to do with what they talked about to begin with.
What did
10
they
years
talk
ago.
about to begin with? I'm not aware of what they talked about. to
First
begin
of all, involving the town with the redevelopment of it, and gonna kick some of the land back to the town
with.
for all our years of giving up the tax base. And I know it's on the committee and I waited for those meetings. Guess what? They never happened.
Wow, okay.
So that's my warm and fuzzy about the Commonwealth and promising the town of Templeton something to do with our properties, or their properties, I should say, in town. So
So the town didn't get any of
nothing. We got Jack up there.
Well,
That's why when they wanted us to take the proof, they told us the roads were ours, and they appreciate us maintaining the 8 miles of roads. We gave it back to them.
Gotcha.
Okay, so the 25th?
Well, do we want a motion? To
Yep.
continue to the 25th?
I'll make a motion that we continue the A&R plans until the 25th.
Second.
Any discussion? Any discussion? You guys good with that? You good with that, sir?
Thank you all for your time. I'll do my best to get the additional information to you as soon as possible. Can I just ask, Dale, do you have any comments regarding, Dale, do you have any concerns about delaying this to the 25th? I think we're good. I mean, as long as we can try to get the information we need to get in by then, but.
No, I'll be available for whatever you need for descriptions or whatever you need on that, and we'll push through with this process, and hopefully we'll get it pulled together on the 25th.
Should
So-
the plan have
You
that
can just-
updated as well?
Email me the deed description with the easement in it, and I'll make sure that copies get made.
And
Okay.
just one more thing too, if the easement changes by description, just depict it on the plan. You know what I mean? If it's gonna be right within that same layout, then fine, but if it moves, of course, move it on the plan, just so we have
Yeah,
everybody.
Absolutely, sir. I appreciate that. We met with the landowner on site and the engineer field crew, and that's where everyone agreed it made the most sense, given where we want to put the parking area.
Okay,
So I don't expect that to change at all.
but I mean, as far as what you do with it, how you move it around. Really is a moot point. To me
Yeah,
personally.
the
It's just a
gravel
matter of
road is,
pointing the language, so. Protecting the people in town that they can use it, that's all.
yeah, the road itself, I think it measures 10 to 12 foot wide. We went with 15 foot just in case the road ever needs to be improved in the future, especially if we want to get down there with heavy machinery to do some sort of a timber harvest, but.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do anything less than 15 for sure, so, okay.
Very much
No.
appreciate all the comments. I'll get back as soon as I can with the additional information, and if there's anything else I can do, I'll be in touch with Lori and I'll follow
Yeah.
up. Thank you very much.
Perfect, okay. With that being said, all in favor, move this to the 25th?
Aye.
Right. Close, nope, okay, good, unanimous. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Gentlemen.
Thank you.
Mhm. Enjoy your evening.
You as well.
Where the heck did anybody off yesterday?
The next.
Sure, we'll give you a couple more minutes.
Well, it's just, I'm sorry.
You wanna go back to number one?
Reorganization of the board.
I'd like to make a motion that we maintain the current slate of officers. And that we, if nobody has any objections, maintain the same committee appointments.
Hey, you're jumping ahead, man.
Whoa, whoa.
We have separate,
Whoa.
separate items for that.
Well, I think we can encompass them in one motion, maybe.
All right, so which articles you talking? Okay, number 1,
1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and 3, in other words, leave everything alone.
Who is chair?
Kirk,
Correct.
Who is vice chair?
Charlie,
Charlie,
Who is clerk?
Bruce,
Who is CPC rep?
Dennis.
Who is Montachusett Joint Transportation Committee?
Let's see if he knows.
is that Charlie? No.
Could be.
Memo says I miss you, Charlie.
That's a motion. I guess we need a second.
Anybody want to second that?
I'll second that.
Okay, motion been made, seconded to keep officers and positions, the same as they have been for the last, how many years? I don't know.
As long as I've been doing it,
Yeah.
you got a couple new people that have come into the picture.
You guys want to jump on a committee by any chance? What
do you have open?
Charlie would be
Charlie?
glad to give up the, MRPC, I think, right?
Well, it's MRPC, but it's through MRPC, it's the Montachusett Joint Transportation Commission. And I have not been privy to any of their meetings, but I'm sure Charlie can give you a little overview of what it is.
I bet you can.
Wow.
Let's just say the some cars were still on the road the last time I went to one of those meetings.
What the thing, stones are still driving down the road?
I believe they meet once a month. It's for the benefit of multiple regional cities and towns. And it has to do with roads and joint transportation.
Yes. Transportation oriented. It's fun. You'll enjoy it.
I'm like, do you want to try it, Mike?
You need to offload something. Then sure.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
So do you want to verbalize the motion?
Okay, same motion with the exception of Mike's gonna take the MRPC.
Made by,
Okay. no,
okay,
I agree with that.
seconded by,
Yes.
Oh,
okay,
Charlie.
got it,
Charlie's off the hook.
got it.
Well, there hasn't been discussion yet either, so
okay, discussion?
Good luck.
it's not that bad.
It's really not bad. It's just a complete time commitment. I can't make it happen.
Good time.
And what they meet during the week, right? Is it,
They do, and you usually can attend by Zoom, so.
but it's usually held at the MRPC offices, right? Yeah, unless they have a conference, a junket, something like that, they fly out to Hawaii once a year.
Yeah, I missed that trip too.
All right, with that being said, all in favor?
I.
Unanimous, okay. Thank you. Signature card.
That would go with.
So the signature card is actually with the Registry of Deeds. And every year we have to renew it. Oh, actually, if you want to pass this around and get all the signatures I can, your term is actually on there. You don't even have to vote because you're already on the board. It's just a matter of sending them updated signatures. No, but what they do is they do it annually to make sure, like if somebody had opposed Dennis through the election and became a board member, Dennis's name would come off and then the person's would go on. But they're not lining up for volunteer positions. So we appreciate you guys for that.
No, unfunded mandate, right?
There you go.
Almost the last one I did.
Mine changes a little bit each time.
On your next item, for the minutes. I actually have minutes for the March 12th and 26th, because at one of the meetings. The March 26th minutes were tabled. I know that you did receive them. I don't know if you wanna vote on them tonight with the 12th.
On 3/12.
Are you talking about the 12th and 26th together?
Well, you can vote on them separately.
Well, only because I was saying, I was absent.
So on the twelfth, everybody but Kirk and Bruce can vote.
So I think we should handle them separately just because it'll be cleaner.
Okay.
Why, we weren't here for the 12th?
Kirk and Bruce were not at the 12th meeting. So would anybody else? Other than Kirk and Bruce like to make a motion?
I thought it was at all those meetings.
No, you missed one.
That was for the, down the street, down
I'll make a
Maple
mo-
Lane?
No, it was, follow-up for the zoning, proposed changes for zoning.
Oh, okay, yep.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as submitted for March 12th.
No seconds on.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to accept the minutes for March 12th. Any discussion on those minutes? Seeing none, all in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, all abstained, 2. Okay, 4 to 2. Well, 2 abstentions.
Two abstentions. Yep.
Correct.
If you choose to review the minutes from the 26th, people that weren't there were Charlie and Frank.
On the 26th.
Was it pretty short?
Oh, then motion to accept the minutes.
I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes as written.
Second.
Yeah, motion made and seconded. To accept the minutes for, excuse me, March 26th.
26.
Right, what is it?
No,
Oh, 26, yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Abstentions? Okay. Seven? Oh, wait, is that new business now? We ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did put in the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Regulations in your packet.
Yeah, number 7, I just talking to some other communities and fellow planners and what developers, engineers, you name it. On the, our 800-foot cul-de-sac rule, well, it's actually a regulation, it's not a bylaw. What a lot of communities do is instead of doing the 800 feet, they just put a number on the number of homes you can put on a dead end street cul-de-sac. Because what happens, a lot of big parcels get developed, and you get the 3 parcels on the end that have 20 acres each or something like that, or 10 acres each,
Mhm.
because they can't go any further with the road.
Mhm.
So I've heard numbers from anywhere from 15 to 20 homes on a cul-de-sac.
Mhm.
Versus going by the length. And so I wanted to,
Because it was really when that, from my understanding, when they came up with that, there was no actual reason for 800 feet. It was
fire
just a
department said, Frank,
Post.
Frank, he was there. It's, Dick Payne was the fire chief at that time. He said he only had 800 feet of hose.
Yep.
So if they're at the end of the road, they could only go so far. So that's how they became. We could only go 800 feet for a subdivision.
Has
So,
that
so
changed?
I think we have more hose now.
Well, the only reason I ask is because in some regulations in other towns and cities that we were looking at, they will allow up to 1,200 feet. That's the most I found. But they require that the houses be sprinkled.
Well,
So
that's-
I'm wondering,
You can't really do that because the town, we don't have, I mean, we have town water in a lot of places, but
but mostly, right,
but there's probably more of the town without
Wells.
town water than with.
Right.
You know, so.
Right.
That's
true.
But I just want to bring it to the board and see if, we want to hold we'd have to hold a public hearing, you know, to change our regulation, so for people to come in and chime in, what have you.
Mhm.
But
I think it would make
it-
sense to update it a little bit.
it definitely slows down your, should say amount of subdivisions, but your impact on your road frontage. Because you're gonna get more out of
Mhm.
one entrance, 50-foot road going in for a subdivision, you're gonna be able to get more houses into a concentrated area.
Well, that
Versus-
also would depend on what zone it's in too.
What's that?
That would depend on what zone it is.
Yeah, they still have to follow whatever the zone is, whether it's an RA1 or, but, like Laurie had said, we can, rather than go into footage, I think we just maybe determine it by, or both, whichever is greater or something like that, or whichever is less. But I think it's just a matter of an 800-foot road, you don't get many houses. And today, we have a huge housing problem. And so even from a developer, I mean, road costs right now are upwards of $800 a foot. And that's a lot of money when you start building a
Mhm.
1,000-foot road,
Mhm.
just under $1 million, for
Right.
1,100-foot. And so all that cost has to go divided amongst the lots.
Mhm.
Even though you're still gonna you still have to keep going footage,
Right.
but your numbers work better if you can put more homes within that one subdivision versus starting all over
Yeah,
down
but
the street to
they-
punch another road in.
800 feet's only gonna give you 10 houses on both sides, right?
Right, I think 10 at best, right?
Well,
At
one,
best.
150.
Right, then you get the
Exactly.
bulb of the act of the cul-de-sac.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. So you
You know,
gotta
so-
look at that.
Would this also include a loop road with single entrance? So you had one entrance and it looped around?
Yeah, you can
That
still
would
loop
include
around.
this- That would include it.
No, you
Would
can,
that end?
you can still loop around as
Yeah.
far as, actually, that's a good question. How did we do that? Because there is a couple of them, actually Baldwin Drive is like that, it goes up and it brings back around. So it still pertains to straightaways to a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
So you can still go up and put the letter P in there all you wanted and go another way, as long as you're coming back to an intersection, what have you. But that would all be in a design phase too of the main route going up in, as far as how wide it would have to be to, take the traffic, whatnot, but that'd be an engineer's problem. That's a good point, though, Mike.
Most of these roads get turned over to the town, and it's also be an increased maintenance issue for the town, so. I just don't see it remain as it is.
Well,
If we have a large tract of land and we can only go 800 feet in, like you said, you waste a lot of.
Right, there's a lot of.
then you just
back
go down the street and you punch another road in, it just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
I think we need to keep up with it.
Then you have even enough road to maintain.
Right, but I think we need to keep up with the times and especially the demand for homes, because right now, people that live in town can't even afford to stay here.
Right.
And whoever, people used to come to Temple, people do come to Temple because it's affordable.
I know.
But
I'm in
20
the
years ago-
process of selling and looking.
25,
Not good.
25, 30 years ago, Templeton was $25,000 lot, now it's $100,000 a lot.
Right.
And it's because the amount of lots.
Right. I think it's worth looking at it.
So if the board want to hold a public hearing for
Yeah. I-
discussion purposes, and then we can vote at it. Want to let it at a later date, or?
do you want to try and put something together first? Do you need to? For us to do any research? I don't.
I think it's, you know,
You don't have to hold a public hearing to discuss it. You need the public hearing once you have something that you want to put in writing.
well, I'd like to have the public hearing to get input from anybody in the community that wants to chime in on it. So I think that would be our dog and pony show then. And then we could take the input from the public if they show up. And whether we, then we could schedule a public hearing on exactly what we come up with. So do you want to do an information, I guess they would do an informational,
I would do
let's do
informational.
an informational meeting first.
Yep.
Because that goes on the what town's website anyways, right, for advertising, whatever. However you do however it gets out there.
I can ask to put it in with the electric bill again, or the water bill or
Okay.
whatever. They've been very helpful over at Templeton Municipal.
Yes.
And that hits, if it goes in the electric, it hits every household.
Yeah.
How far out? I'm on vacation
Oh,
now.
it doesn't matter, there's no,
How about August?
that's fine,
August, okay.
yeah, that's fine.
I'll find out if we can do it.
I mean, keep in mind, it's a regulation, so if somebody walked in tomorrow, we have the right to waive it, no different than all the other waivers we give sometimes, same waivers. But it's just something I wanted just to bring up because I see other communities that kind of. Like, what, you guys only allow 800 feet? It's like we're eating up all our frontage and we're, now all those houses at the end of a cul-de-sac right now.
Huge
Have great developable land behind them. But now you can't build a road off the road. Because the houses are already taken up the frontage of the cul-de-sac
Right.
and so on and so forth. So it's. Something to think about. I think we need to stop it for.
So, yeah, just pick it, you can just put it on our agenda anytime, Lori.
Okay.
I don't think the board all right with that, we'll just,
Yeah.
we'll just see it on the agenda, so if you get a night that has
Okay.
a couple of A&Rs or whatever, we'll do then we'll schedule it at 7 or something like that, for discussion. We don't have to have a meeting just for the discussion purpose of it.
Okay.
What you thinking, Caps, on anything that somebody wants to see or not see? Yeah,
Sounds good.
any other new business? Seeing none, next meeting's the 25th.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn from Charlie, second, anybody? All right, all in